to get answers to questions that the caucus is not in a position to answer.
Right.
Your state's attorney's not here.
I know.
Your council president's not here. Your legislative body's not here that's responsible for making sure that there's compliance within the park. This is a city agency. So how do you, maybe what you do?
I've already told the chair we need a follow-up to this with those persons because I didn't know that they were not going to be here. I'm shocked, and I don't know what the communication was.
But this is a great start, and we commend you for putting it on.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
a great start.
And we will definitely follow up. And I want the public to know, I care. I mean, I'm sitting there, I don't blame them at all, at all. And how can you be dismissed by the state's attorney? And then the state's attorney is not even here. And don't get me started.
So when the community leaves without answers, regardless of the justification, it creates a sense that somehow or another their concerns are not important. That's why you always got to make sure that the right people are in the room in the conversation.
And I didn't know because I didn't put this together.
So you all can't advance an answer that you can't back up, nor can you accept blame for a problem that you can't enforce. And so I appreciate raising the audience, but if we don't manage what are the next steps in terms of the expectations of folks who are crying out of their
that needs to be said before we close out.
It's got to be said.
And I was sitting there saying to myself that, you know, I don't know if the chair's going to do it. I'm going to talk to her, but if not, I certainly will do it. Because see, I know the pain of the people because I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. You know, I had a baby brother at 26 years old who was killed on North and Jew Hill by a dirty cop. You know what I mean? And so I know the pain. I know the pain. I'm also a person who was homeless at 13, so I know what it is to be on the street because you don't have anywhere else to go.
That's right.
And I shouldn't be arrested because I'm from a dysfunctional family.
Did you buy the piece about there not being enough money for recreation centers? Because I thought about a $7-8 million Grand Prix raise. I thought about a football team with $100 million in salaries. Isn't it pathetic that in 2013 we say we don't have resources for the children when a board costs $1 trillion?
It's unacceptable because our children always say education and recreation go hand in glove. You have to have both, education and recreation. Otherwise, you're going to have they
tax the citizens in Baltimore more than anywhere.
Everything else, you know, that's the answer. That's the answer. So
at any given day, the state of Maryland has $6 billion in the bank. The issue is not money. The issue
we have a AAA bond rating.
Rainy day and it's raining. It's pouring.
It's pouring down, but the children in Baltimore City aren't worth it.
Oh man,
that
has to be changed.
They are worth
At least
it.
this is a start.
But it is a start.
It is a start.
And thank you, Delegate.
I'm not going anywhere. You know, I just pray that God will see fit for me to be reelected because I care. I'm not sitting there I'm supposed to be at a community meeting, but I'm not going.
You at the right community meeting tonight.
That's right.
And what you running for re-election? Tell them what you're doing.
I'm running for re-election for the 45th District, Maryland House of Delegates.
And we wish you well. We hope you get on there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You and your sister Joyce Smith.
I know that's right.
All right. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com. Rep Mal, help me out. I mean, I'm hearing every excuse in the world.
You know, the unfortunate
for there not to be recreation centers, but every reason to give a kid a record.
Not just that, but
did I miss something?
Man, what the challenge is that here you have a commissioner who's pleading from his heart, but it's not followed through on the command. It's not followed on the street. When you have officers, they got to be trained in bias. They got to be trained in sensitivity.
See, this is the one thing I wanted to say. They say it's bias, that the term is not racism. But I beg to differ. America incarcerates more people than any country in the world, and 44% of them are black men. That's very racial. That's significantly racial.
When 70% of the police force lives outside the city,
i.e. Pennsylvania.
Exactly. They have a
us and them mentality.
Exactly. As well as a occupying. We're occupying and they're not participating. So that really the challenge is that the police officers, if they care, they should say, I'm going to live in the community.
A vested interest.
Exactly.
You can't talk that. Yeah. You got to live it.
Yeah, you got to be there.
Rev, thank you for coming out. What else you working on?
Oh man, the other challenge is that we cannot allow the red line conversation to advance without there being a real conversation around economic development. Two key things, please keep this in mind. The Poppleton stop and the Harlem Park stop must have an economic development strategy. Just can't allow that. When you see the plan now, they got strategies for downtown, strategies for Mark, but not strategies for the two stops that greatly impact our community. That's where I'm at right now.
Union Baptist Church, we appreciate you, Reverend Al Hathaway. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com.